Hello and welcome to another edition of HCC News. I'm Rachel Madrid.
And I'm Samashita Butler. Here's what's making headlines around Hutchinson this week. A capacity crowd of 7,000 was on hand at the sports arena to cheer on the fourth-seeded Blue Dragon men this past Tuesday. The Dragons had an 8-point lead going into halftime at the NJCAA Division I tournament, but number 13 seed Howard roared back, scoring 62 second-half points, eliminating the Blue Dragons from tournament play by a final score of 92-68.
The number 3 HCC women's team won their first game in the second round of the tournament in Salina this past Wednesday. The Lady Dragons held ASA College of New York to 32% shooting from the field and forced 19 turnovers to win 77-55 at the Bicentennial Center. Hutchinson played Northwest Florida State at 7 p.m. on Thursday in the NJCAA quarterfinals. Results were not available at showtime. Good luck, Lady Dragons.
The project management class in HCC's computer science program is finishing up a semester-long project emulating an experiment from MIT. They will be out scanning the campus buildings using a Doppler radar they built in class in hopes of creating a high-resolution image.
The students went through a selection process and developed criteria to select the project they wanted to do, and then have been working on that project through the semester. And the project they selected was to duplicate some work that was done at MIT to build a small radar system that they could produce images from. If we get it working the way we'd like, what it does is it takes a series of, well, you could think of it like a camera taking a series of still images. It then interpopulates those images together and tries to create an image of something far away with radar, and it's much the same way you would with a camera. Another analogy that might work even better is it's similar to how an MRI takes several slices and then those are put together in software. So there's a hardware component of this where they had to duplicate the work of MIT with the actual radar system, and then there was a software component where they had to work on scripts to manipulate the data and produce those images. We should have some nice images of some of the buildings on campus taken with this technology once we work out the various problems and get it worked out. And that's part of the experiment. The students have been working on problems with this, more or less from the get-go, and have resolved issues with the script and bugs we ran into and so forth. And now we're really close to getting something.
Country music fans embrace. The Kansas State Fair has added Toby Keith to the list of performers showing up in September. Keith will perform September 15th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets will range from $20 to $100. They go on sale April 15th at 8 a.m. for Fair fan club members, while others will be able to buy tickets in May. The country star will be at the fair among other bands such as Kansas and Eli Young Band.
A new organization on campus has been formed to give photographers a place to meet and discuss their art form. The Snapdragons, sponsored by HCC instructor Alan Montgomery, came together to learn and share. Our own Michael Durbin sat down with the organization's vice president to find out more.
Hello, welcome to another edition of HCC News. Today I'm talking with Carolyn Durbin. Welcome to the show, Carolyn.
Thank you.
What I want to ask you is a couple questions regarding the Snapdragons. Can you tell me a little bit about this, what they are and how they got formed?
Well, we're a photography group on campus. We got formed, I want to say back in October, because of they had a fair for all the groups and they didn't have a group for photography, and so we went around to see about forming one and we got one started. Okay,
sounds interesting. What exactly do you do with the Snapdragons?
Basically, we just take pictures of just whatever and have fun little activities. Like right now, we're doing a scavenger hunt in the newspaper because it's our sponsors, the main editor of the Collegian. So we have things going in the paper for people to hunt for stuff to win gifts.
About how many members do you have?
Oh, roughly about, I want to say 10.
10, and that's interesting. Is the Snapdragons recruiting at all?
Always.
Okay. When's your meeting times? Do you have meetings, or?
Our meetings are on I want to say the second Monday of every month, and it's at 5 to 5:45 in room 31 in Lockman Hall, which is actually the basement of Lockman Hall.
Who's the officers of the Snapdragons?
Well, I'm vice president. Evidently, yeah, you're the president. So, and then Kayla is the secretary.
Do you have any upcoming events that you're excited about?
Well, I don't know how. Well, yeah, actually we do. We have one coming up April 4th where we're actually calling out all of the organizations and clubs and departments on campus for a bake-off. It's a $5 entry fee for whatever you put in.
Okay, who should they contact if they would like to join the Snapdragons?
Mr. Montgomery or myself, or you.
Okay, well, that's very interesting. I thank you for joining us today, and back to the news desk.
Instead of buying a bunny for your kids this Easter, how about heading down to the Hutchinson Animal Shelter and adopting a fur friend in need of a new home? This week we meet Link, a curious cat just waiting for his new family.
Today we have Link. Link is a 1-year-old male domestic short-haired tabby. He came to the animal shelter as a stray. He's very curious. The animal shelter is open Tuesday through Friday, 1 to 6 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 2 to 5 p.m., and we're closed on Monday. So come on out and visit Link.
Next week is finally spring break at HCC. That means no classes and plenty of time to relax. Before the final month rush of the semester, we wanted to find out what students and faculty were doing with their time off in this week's Campus Talk.
What are your spring break plans?
I'm going to go home and hang out with my family and my brother.
Working.
Well, for spring break, I'm going back to Wichita and going to see my friend. He just got back from basic.
Well, I'll be actually on my parents' farm in Piedmont, Kansas, working the entire time, getting ready to plant a bunch of stuff for our garden this summer.
Probably just hanging out with my family a lot, going down because I have some family in California, so, you know, probably just going to go down there, visit them, just chill, hang out with family.
Relax, just study.
Don't really have any yet, but probably at the most we'll go up to our farm and clean house. It's in northern Kansas.
We got to stay here and practice, so I won't get to go home. No more Chicago.
Stay here. I'm just going to stay here and chill, work out, get my knee better.
Well, since I'm originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico, I plan to go home and party with all my friends.
So Rachel, do you have any big plans for spring break?
No, I do not. I'll be working, and I hope to go home for at least a few days. What about you, Sam?
I'll probably just be sleeping the whole time.
Well, at least you'll get some rest over spring break.
Yep.
Well, that's all we have for this episode. Join us again in 2 weeks for another edition of HCC News. I'm Rachel Madrid.
And I'm Sam Ashita Butler. Have a great spring break.